This is The Big Story presented by herbchambers.com.
I'm Scott Helman, political editor of the Boston Globe. Well, Election Day is finally here. Polls are open, the race is on, and now it's time to watch the voting. As we start to see voters trickle into the polling booths today all over the state, there are a couple of key things that the campaigns and election experts are going to be watching. When you're looking through results is the turnout patterns. We can go back to previous gubernatorial elections and then also the Scott Brown-Martha Coakley race in January and see some things that are important. One thing looking at the governor's race is, Deval Patrick does very, very well in Western Massachusetts. He has spent a ton of time out there. He has a second home out there. He has campaigns out there. He's out there a lot on his official schedule. He has actually fulfilled this campaign promise that he would be the governor of the entire state. And in that sense, he's going to do very well in Western Massachusetts. Now, that's great for Patrick, but it's also, as we know, there are not a lot of people who live out there, so the density is not so great. So he won't get a huge number of votes, even if he wins the majority of them. Charlie Baker will look to do very well, as Republicans before him have, in this ring of suburbs between 128 and 495. In 2002, for example, when Mitt Romney won, and you saw the map the next day, it was sort of almost all red. He had won in just about every one of those communities between 128 and 495. That's a critical stretch for him. It's full of a lot of independent voters, suburban, ex-urban voters who tend to be swing votes. They'll go either way depending on the candidate that they like and how they're feeling. That's one thing to watch. Another thing to watch is how the turnout looks in the cities. Patrick does very well in the cities, especially Boston. He and his campaign have continued to mobilize a lot of new voters, minority voters especially, who have not participated in previous elections. That's also true in cities like Lawrence and in Worcester and to some extent in New Bedford, Fall River. And then Baker, another area of strength for him will probably be the South Shore and Cape Cod, especially the Upper Cape, Barnstable, Sandwich, Falmouth, those kind of towns. And then also along the reasonably conservative southern 10th congressional district, which is Plymouth, sort of all the way up the South Shore. And I think Baker will expect and will need to make to get a pretty high margin, pretty big margin there to be successful on Election Day.